You've got lots of real estate questions. Should I downsize? What improvements do I need to make before I sell? What will Connecticut's real estate market be like in 6 months? It's time for The Real Estate Show with Pat Civitella. He's got your answers. Call 203-333-9422. Now, here's your host, Pat Civitella.
Hello to everyone, and good evening, and thanks for tuning in to The Real Estate Show with me, your host, Pat Civitella, with over 35 years' experience in the real estate investing business. This show is about creating long-term wealth through real estate investing and producing passive and residual income with real estate. I'm going to share my knowledge and offer my guidance and inside information that most people are not aware of. I can also show you how to develop and generate a secondary or primary income from real estate investing. And also, I could talk to you about home improvement tips to increase the value of your property for the best improvements you can do. So I encourage everyone to call if you have any questions or concerns about the topic, and also any home improvement questions that you're interested in doing. I've probably done it over the years. So call in tonight to WICC, which is 203-333-9422. Again, that's 203-333-9422 with any questions. And that's 600 AM, 107.3 FM. Okay, I took a little break. We had some recorded shows for the last couple of weeks. I was away on a trip with my wife in Italy. It was both business and pleasure, and got back on. As a matter of fact, got back on St. Patrick's Day, Sunday night, the 17th, and I was doing again a little bit of business, but mostly pleasure, visiting my family in Italy. Started in Florence, visiting my cousin, then worked our way down to Rome and Naples to visit the rest of the family. But no matter what type of trip I go or take, I'm always looking at real estate, even in other countries. I'm just curious, number one, and number two, I'm always interested to see what's going on around the world, and also, when I'm in the U.S. But I'll report back on that. I'm going to go back to, I skipped over our sponsor for tonight, and then I'm going to go into some more notes about my trip. And I got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. But if you have any questions, please call in and see if I can answer them for you. So, again, I want to thank our sponsor tonight, which is 1-800-MR-JUNKER, Junk Removal Made Easy. They will take the good, the bad, and the ugly. No need to do anything except for point what you want gone. They'll either come up for one item or do a complete house or business clean out. 1-800-MR-JUNKER is ready to serve you, serving Fairfield and New Haven counties for over 15 years. Please call our friends there and mention Pat Civitella on WICC, and you get 10% off your job. Yeah, 10% off your job. That's 1-800-MR-JUNKER for all your junk and cleanup removal. They also offer same-day service available. They're hot tub removal specialist, and also offer a free junk car removal service. Yes, that's free junk car removal. Again, call 1-800-MR-JUNKER today, and you'll be happy that you did. Okay. I'm going to go a little quick, if we got new listeners out there, about my background, and then we'll go into about my trip and all my other notes that I wanted to cover tonight. A little bit about my background for the new people listening. Rich, am I okay on the volume here? Good? Okay. So about my background, came to this country from Italy in 1969 with my mom and dad, and we settled in Ansonia, where my aunt and her family was. And at an early age, we always played a lot of games This is back in the early 70s. Growing up then, which was a lot of fun, we always played games either inside, outside, no matter what the weather was. But we ended up playing a lot of board games, and what I really grasped, one of the best games that I played was the game of Monopoly. And I just loved that game, and I understood the concept, and seemed like it was so easy and simple that I kind of, that's what launched me into investing in real estate at the age of 25. And that's when I started investing in real estate. And I've been doing that for now over 35 years. And I'm always willing to learn. I'm always listening, and I'm always reading seminars, group meetings. So I'm always learning new information or updated information. But a lot of it's information that's been around for a long, long time, and it's just kind of rehashed or redone, or I don't know what the word is, but reinvented maybe, I don't know. But anyways, that's how I got started in the business, and I'm in the business currently. We're still buying real estate, and my philosophy is always buying and hold, long term. Again, I've been doing this since I was 25 years old, and the key to my success or to generating income or being financially independent, depending on what your finances are, what you consider to be financially independent. You could either buy 1, 2, 3, 4 properties, or 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 units. It's really up to the individual. But what I always loved about real estate, and there's actually two points to my my love for this, because you could take one of my greatest feelings on a property is after first acquiring it and seeing the potential to it, but then also besides the monetary value, there's so much satisfaction in taking something that people think like it's a junk, or you got to knock it down, or it's such an eyesore, and taking that property and just revitalizing it and making it, bring it back to its glory, what I always say. And that satisfaction alone to me is just, there's no price or value to put on that. And it's just a great, great feeling. And I know my son, Tony, I think feels the same way when we take a property and it's really, downtrodden, and it's been wear and tear. And as a matter of fact, we're finishing one right now in Ansonia that he's done probably 90% of the work. I mean, we still have some work left on it, but I think I took pictures of before we started the project. And I always do that. I always say before I start a project, I'm going to take pictures before and I'm going to take pictures after. And then what happens is you get busy and you forget about the little details, and sometimes you forget that. But like I said, the satisfaction that I feel when I finish a job like that, I mean, it's just, there's no money to put a price on that. So to me, it's a double, triple win, in my opinion. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to call in. It's 203-333-9422 here on WICC. All right, so I'm going to go back to finishing what I started talking about, my trip to Italy with my wife. We had a great time visiting all my relatives there. And like I said, I did a little bit of business, and every time we were shopping, there was always some real estate offices nearby or where we were walking by, and we were always looking in the windows, and not both of us, but I was always checking prices. And again, I guess real estate is kind of universal, because even in Italy, it all goes back to number one, which is universal, is location, location, location. And then number two, it goes back to, again, supply and demand. I mean, in my hometown, which is outside of the Naples area, Caserta area, and I'm from a small little farming town. I mean, the prices there are, there's not a huge demand, but the prices are based on, again, the supply and demand. But again, it's a farming community. We were able to rent an Airbnb. Believe it or not, it was like an apartment, Rich. It was beautiful, like a 3-room apartment right in the piazza of the town, next to the church. Beautiful, beautiful location. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like €50, which is like $50 a day for a three-room apartment.
Did it look like it was a place that had been renovated or a place that was brand new?
Oh no, see, that's a good question, Rich, because you have to remember that these properties in Europe, especially in Italy, I mean, the original property is probably 400 or 500 years old. The outside walls and the structure, but inside was relatively remodeled, probably I would say in the last 10 years. So it had all the modern conveniences, indoor heat, bathrooms, the whole bit, washer and dryer, small little kitchenette. And I'm telling you, it was just phenomenal. I mean, $50 a night, that's what it was for a 3-room apartment in the center of town.
Can't find that here.
Yeah, but again, real estate is the same no matter what. But obviously, if we had a 3-room apartment in the center of Rome, it would probably be $500 a night. But so again, I wanted to bring that to everybody's attention that real estate pretty much is universal. And I have cousins and aunts in Rome, and Rome is a big city like New York City, and they have different sections. Like you got Brooklyn, you got Queens, you got Manhattan. It's the same in Rome. You have the center of the city, and then you have all the outskirts, which are less expensive than being right in the center of, let's say, Manhattan on Fifth Avenue or whatever. But it was a great trip. We had a great time. Nice visiting the family and everything. But again, real estate, the prices were from, I saw prices in some of the small towns, a whole house, probably, 2-bedroom, 2 to 3 bedroom, I would say 1,000 square feet to 1,500 square feet. You could have bought some in these little small towns for like 30,000 euros, which is equivalent to like 32,000. The euro is a dollar. I think it was $1.08 for every euro. So, let's say 1-to-1, and $30,000 and up. In these small little towns. Then you go into the bigger city, like the equivalent to like if we were here and going to New Haven. So if you go into New Haven, obviously the prices are different. Same thing there. You went from the small town, you go into the bigger city, equivalent to the size of, let's say, New Haven. Then you're talking, relatively the same thing as here. The prices went from, probably starting at 100,000 up to, 300,000 euros, depending on the size, again, the location, and the whole 9 yards. So I just wanted to bring that attention that, real estate is universal. It's the same no matter what. Same thing like when you go in different parts of the country. It's just a lot of different areas, and you have to know the market. And, again, it comes down to supply and demand. So I'm going to go back to, after that was about the trip. I'm going to go into the most recent is the current market update of the area here, which is I broke it down into Milford because we're here in Milford, broadcasting out of Milford, and I also live in Milford, and I have New Haven County and Fairfield County. So here's the latest market update. This is printed as of yesterday's date. So starting with New Haven County, the days on the market for properties are 47 days to take in order to sell. So, I mean, the days on the market are getting a little longer. The average sale price in New Haven County is still about the same as it was when I reported back about three weeks ago. The average sale price is at $405,000 for New Haven County. And the percentage of list price received is still up there, which I think is about the same as last time I reported it. It's, believe it or not, it's at 101% of the list price. So you're getting list price plus a little bit more on offers. Inventory of homes in New Haven County is 852 as of today. Now the same thing again. This is what we talked about before. You're in New Haven County, then you go to Fairfield County. Now Fairfield County days on the market is 65 days. So that adds about 20 days to the days on the market to sell the property. So you're going into almost 2 months. I mean, so the days on the market are getting a little longer compared to probably 6 months ago, a year ago. The things were selling in a day or two. And multiple offers in one day.
Well, like you said, supply and demand.
Exactly, Rich. Exactly. So again, now the average sale price in Fairfield County is more than double. It's like $928,000. I think that's up from the last time I reported. I think it was in the 850, if I remember correctly, when I reported about 3-4 weeks ago. So the average sale price is $928,000 compared to New Haven County is $405,000. The list price received is almost similar to New Haven County. The list prices are being received at 101% of the asking price, and the inventory of homes are higher because of just the size of the area. The inventory of Fairfield County is bigger, and it's at 1,014 homes. So that's the update for New Haven and Fairfield County. Just for the local market here for Milford, days on the market is the same as 47 days. Average sale price for Milford is $487,000, and the percentage of list price received is almost 100%. It's 99.9. And then the inventory of homes is 64 for the city of Milford. There's 64 homes inventory, which is very low compared to. I remember. I don't know, 2-3 years ago, there was always, I think, like 150 or more homes for sale in Milford. Now you're down to 64. So that's the latest on the market update for the area for New Haven and Fairfield and Milford. I'm going to take a little quick break right now, and then we'll be right back.
Got real estate questions? Call 203-333-9422 and ask Uncle Pat.
Okay, thank you for coming back. We took a little break there, and we just finished up the market update for Fairfield and New Haven County, and also the local city of Milford here. Okay, the next thing I wanted to cover, let's see, I did that. Next thing that I wanted to cover are some top 5 home improvements that will get the most money on your investment there.
We got Jerry from Bridgeport.
Oh, okay. We'll take this call first before we get into the home improvements. All right, go ahead, Jerry. How can I help you?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Great program. I wish you did an hour because by the time you get started, it's over.
Yeah, I know. I think we're working on that, Jerry. You're right, because I have so much information, like you said. By the time I get started, it's already over.
Yeah, it's good to listen to your monologue and some of the subjects you want to talk on, and then when the people would start calling, then it's time for the night worker. So, so let me, you know what I mean? So yeah. I'm glad you had safe travel back and forth. I could think of about a dozen questions, and you probably know the answer to all of them. Well, maybe you could just answer this yes or no quick. Now,
sure, go ahead.
With your rentals, do you do just rentals, or do you also have some Airbnb?
No, I strictly do rentals on all of our properties, and I've been going back and forth about doing Airbnbs. But every time I look into it deeper, and I've also gone to a couple seminars on these Airbnb specialists or gurus. And you know what, Jerry? After I get through with the seminar, I always say to myself, "This is the reason why I don't want to do it."
Well, that's a good thing. I have two properties. Actually, they're right next door to each other, and one is a 2-family and one is a single family. And the single family, in our turn, because I'm also in the home improvement business, is I bought it before COVID, and the woman who lived there, I've lived here for probably 39 years, and my wife and I bought it 4 years, 2019, and because I had been cutting her grass all the years and whatever. Yeah. You ready for this number? I picked up the property, new roof on the garage, solid construction, built 1914 by Colonel Parsons in the Civil War. Yeah. I picked it up for $100,000.
Oh my God. What a score that was.
Yeah, right next door. You go out my side door,
Right.
and they wanted 130,
Yeah.
but they took 30 off for all the years that I had been, washing the car, cutting the grass, and planting flowers, whatever. And then we put about 60 into it.
Yeah.
So the cost basis right now is $160, and it was appraised for $340.
Nice. Now, are you renting it, or are you thinking about doing Airbnb?
Yes, I rent to Sacred Heart grad students.
Gotcha.
And currently the rent on that property is 24. But here's the part you're going to love. You ready?
Yeah.
The rent is $2,400.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The mortgage is $12.
Yeah. Don't you love that?
Now, ready? Yeah, but this don't happen all the time. The tenants pay the heat, the electric, Aquarion, and the WPCA because there's a single-family house.
Right.
I don't do the water over there. I do it over here because it's a dues, whatever.
Right.
So we're getting a passive income of somewhere between like $1,100 a month, and nothing comes out of that because in the mortgage is the principal, the interest, the taxes, the homeowner's insurance, and then the students cover everything. We always get very nice people here.
Right.
I always say to them, when you live here, it's like living in the Magic Kingdom. Because as a landlord, I'm on top of everything. What I mean by that is if something has to be done, sometimes call a professional.
Yes.
Because I hear many horror stories of people, trying to play around with a washing machine. A lot of the you have to know your market. And if you want to attract the higher end market, you better be prepared to fix things ASAP. If you're getting a good dollar, then you got to give the customer what they paid for.
Absolutely.
And so, like paint, cut the grass. Sometimes you can save money on, I shovel the snow and cut the grass, the hedges, whatever. But because of the team I have in my, what I do for a living, if something electrical, I have professionals come in, plumber, whatever. You're never going to see me under the sink. If people are good at that, that's fine.
Absolutely.
I got estimates to get out. I got jobs to get in. I'm losing money if I'm spending time underneath the sink. If it's something easy like just the trap, that's different. But once you start getting into some other stuff, and we had a couple of repairs at both properties this week.
Right.
I had something to do next door, $500, something to do over here, and my house probably going to be another $800. But it's sometimes what people have to understand in business, you don't get to keep all of it. There's a cost of doing business. And
Absolutely.
If you're not prepared to put your hand in your pocket once in a while, you're going to be upset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's the way it goes.
Absolutely.
But I just want to talk about that. And next week I'm going to call in. Maybe you can prepare this question.
Yeah.
You can think about it. Your approach is, refinance, whatever. And then there's the Dave Ramsey approach. And I like Dave Ramsey. He's a good guy, whatever. I don't know him personally. But sometimes if you have to save the money for everything, sometimes you can miss out. And I'll give you a perfect example. When we came here from Long Island, my parents bought a business in Fairfield. Yeah. 1976. So my father rolled all the nuggets at that time. He sold a house in Long Island. It was about $135,000 investment, which was a lot of money in 1976. He was 50 years old, and normally they didn't give mortgages to guys that age.
Right.
So my parents sold the house in Long Island. They put half on the store, half on the house in Huntington. The house in Huntington was 52. The store was 65. Cost of goods was 10. You do the math, whatever.
Right.
But if my father had been following the Dave Ramsey pattern, let's say, now 1978 comes along and the interest rates are 20%. There's no deal.
Right.
You missed the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Because when we came here, mortgage rates were 5 3/4.
Right.
So to make that deal, the house in Huntington, 5 3/4 with $52,000. They put 20 down there, whatever.
Sure.
And they had to borrow $10,000 from my godmother for the cost of goods. But sometimes if you wait and then the interest rates went to 20%, my parents wouldn't have that deal, and we had a very nice life from that business and so on. So I think sometimes you don't know, but sometimes you got to strike while the iron is hot, is the old saying. And one last thing, I'll let you go.
Yeah.
I love that saying you said last week. I know it was now I know why I couldn't call in. You make your living from 9 to 5, but you build a lifestyle from 5 to midnight.
Absolutely, 100%. And I appreciate the call in, Jerry. I don't want to cut you short, but definitely call back next week. But I agree with there's another saying that I'm 100% is there's good debt and bad debt. To me, I have no problem borrowing money because if you can make money on the money, I mean, it's a no-brainer, and people don't understand that. I agree with, not agree, but I know what Dave Ramsey says is about no debt, no debt. That to me is no way to do it because you can never get ahead with that. Like he says, if you were to wait, if your father waited and the interest rates were 18, 20%, he would have been able to do it. But the interest rates were 5%, it was a no-brainer. But thank you for calling in, Jerry. And I only got a couple minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah, you speak Italian?
I do. Yes. Come stai? Stai bene?
Once in a while, brother. I'm Italian. I don't speak it. I'm third generation. My father used to say I'm Rins. Work that into your shtick.
Well, I just got back from Italy. That's why I wasn't here last week.
Then do a little bit in your native tongue. It'd be great to hear.
All right, I'll do that. That's a good idea. I'll do that.
Brother.
Okay.
Get to the hour.
All right. Thanks, Jerry. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Anytime, brother.
All right. Take care. All right. So let me go into real quick. I don't know if we're going to have time to go over the top 5 home improvements that you'll get most ROI or return on your investment. Here it is. The top 5 home improvements. This is according to, I think it was from Zillow. Number 5 was bathroom remodel. Get new faucets, fixtures, tile, and you'll get 92 cents back on every dollar. Number 4 is finish off basement or attic room. That's going to bring you back a return of 95 cents on every dollar invested. Number 3, a minor kitchen remodel. Does not include cabinets, everything except for appliances. That'll bring you back 98 cents on the dollar. Number 2 is a new deck or patio. People love outdoor living. That brings you back, believe it or not, it brings you back $1 for dollar on the investment there. And the top number 1 return on your money is any landscaping, new coat of paint on the exterior, anything that beautifies the outside of the appearance of the property brings you back $1.03 on every dollar you spend on your property. So those are the top 5 home improvements that were just posted, and I figure I share it with my audience. And I'm going to have to say arrivederci, ci vediamo a settimana prossimo. Ciao a tutti, God bless America. And thank you for listening to the Real Estate Show with Pat Civitella here, and we'll see you next week. Have a good night.